The Friday Morning Rant contains adult humor, adult theme, adult language, satire humor, and pretty much that isn't PC that's out there. So if you can't handle that, Jack, then piss off, you're on the wrong podcast. It is the Friday Morning Rant with Shane Halfyard. It is Sunday, August 18th, 2019. I know I'm late, and I'm sorry about that. I had, a few extra little things to get done, and that's why I'm late. No real excuse, just late, and I'm sorry. So speaking about, hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a good day yesterday. Yesterday, I had the house pretty much to myself. It was just me and my eldest son. My eldest daughter stayed home with her mom. Her mother gets her 1 weekend a month. I get the other 3 weekends. And some people go, oh, well, that's good of her. Nah, that's not good of her. It's the way Eleanor wants it. Her mother had her way. She wouldn't let her over here at all. So, it is what it is. But Eleanor wants to spend, 1 week, at least 1 week in a month with her mom, so she does. And there's nothing wrong with that. She should be spending time with her mom. And then my son Ken and daughter Cassandra went to Magic Mountain with the rest of the Filipino community because that was kind of their reward for performing at the Filipino Gala and dancing and doing all that fun stuff. And of course my wife went along with them. And I didn't want to spend the afternoon being ignored, so I stayed home. Oh, and the strange man that lives in my house, he went off to play some sort of card game tournament thing. Where you play, either Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic or, I don't know, the other 1,000 different games out there. I just, every time I think I just scream, nerd, in my head. I can't help it. I know, I suck. But, I was raised in the 80s, so, piss off. So, I spent the day, on my own. My son, Marcellus, and I, we talked a little bit here and there, but really, he wanted to be in his room and relax, and I wanted to be in my room and relax, and that's what we both did. So, it was nice. It was a nice day. So, I hope everyone had a good weekend, too. Hope everyone's enjoying the rest of their Sunday, and I hope everyone's having a good time. This is where I normally would talk about what shows we're watching and what we're doing and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not really doing anything. We watched the last season of Big Bang Theory. And, that was good. And the one thing I really liked about that series is it showed all of them growing as people. Like, a lot of sitcoms don't do that. Like, especially the old sitcoms in the 80s and 90s, they didn't really show them grow as people. Like, they would have, like, a life lesson at the end of the show, but then the next week, they were doing the same shit. You know what I mean? Whereas in the Big Bang Theory, they started showing them progress from immature, nerdy, geeky guys to, building strong friendships, relationships with women, learning what's acceptable and not acceptable to say to women. But they also didn't fully change. Like, for example, the Howard Wolowitz there, the guy who thought of himself as a womanizer. He was always constantly hitting on women, constantly being dirty, constantly being nasty, creeping people out. And then it kind of tapered off, but every once in a while that would surface. Right? Which I liked, because that meant that, he's trying to better himself, but of course he's going to have his little slip-ups. And my favorite character, the character that plays, Sheldon Cooper, he really kept growing as a person. And I liked how they showed that. That was a very interesting way to do the show, and I enjoyed the show a great deal. Of course, all things have to come to an end. 12 years is long enough, and it was, all in all, a good time. I liked it. I own every single season. My work hours are crazy, and so I got to buy them on DVD if I want to watch them, because I'm not going to download it. I don't believe in that. I avoid that if at all possible. I think the only reason why anyone should download something and steal it off the internet is if you cannot get it in the region you're at. Or you cannot get it for a reasonable price. Like, I know this guy, he wanted to buy the early 2000 version of Ninja Turtles. Right? He wanted to buy the series. He couldn't find them in stores. And when he went online, they wanted like $50 for one DVD. So he's like, fuck that, I'm downloading it. And that, I don't blame him. I didn't blame him for that one. Because that's different. You know, he's trying to buy it legally. They want $50 for a single DVD that had like 6 episodes on it. That's ridiculous. Really is. But even then, like, you know, it's a sketchy road, right? Anyway. So that's why I own all 12 seasons of Big Bang Theory, because I couldn't watch it during my work hours. And I'm thinking, like, there was a show at the end of the final episode of Big Bang Theory where they showed some really funny stuff on there that from the past 12 years. And I was like, man, I gotta rewatch these shows. I think I'll start doing that. So that's about it. We're going to start Dragon Ball Super probably tomorrow night. We're gonna watch a movie tonight. But I haven't seen any of that. But I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I have all of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, most of the movies. So I'm gonna enjoy that. That's gonna be fun. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to talk about women's double standards. I know, get out the pitchforks, the torches, blah, blah, blah. Shane the masochist male is going to talk again, and yada, yada, yada. Now, before I go into this, though, in all honesty, I want the women who do listen to this, because there are a couple, right? They've messaged me. Some of them have given me quite encouragement. I want to say to you and to any other woman that may be listening to this, I do not believe this is all women. Okay? I don't even think it's most women. I don't even think it's half the population. All right? Of women. I believe, you know, first of all, I think all women are beautiful. I really do. I do not have a specific type. I've dated, 90-pound girls, and I've dated 300-pound girls, and I thought every one of them was beautiful. Okay? In their own way. But what I don't like is some of the double standards that are coming up. All right? And I do know that men have some double standards, and I would love to discuss that. But I am not on the receiving of that. So any of you women out there listening to this who want to maybe send me some articles or talk about your own personal feelings about men's double standards, I would love to hear from you. I will give it the respect it deserves. So please, if you're out there listening and you want to help me out, my email will be in the description down below. I'd love to hear from you. I really would. I'm not going to pick a fight with you. I may debate you. I may say what I agree with, what I don't agree with, or ask for information on where you got your information from. But I will not call you down, call what you believe down, or put you in a position where you should feel uncomfortable. All right? This is a serious discussion I want to talk about here. I'm going to make some jokes in here. I got to. I can't help it. But I'm really serious with this. The double standards I'm finding is that there are body-shaming men. Okay? That's one of the double standards I'm finding. All right? About a month or so ago, Jason Momoa got body-shamed over his dad bod. Okay? Now, I read the article, and it showed his pictures, and, I don't understand why anyone could body-shame this. This is definitely not a dad bod. He did lose his abs a bit. Yeah, he lost his abs, but his stomach is still fairly flat. He lost a little bit of muscle size and tone. But he's on his vacation. He's on his off season, and you don't understand. I used to be heavy into weight training, and if you just quit for a month, you go right to shit so fast. And he's on vacation. He's enjoying himself. He'll go back to the gym and get back in shape again when he's got another movie or role to play. But you cannot keep the kind of physique that Jason Momoa has in those as on the Game of Thrones and as Aquaman You can't keep, pardon me, you can't keep that up forever. It just can't be done. Right? You hang out with any bodybuilder, and you will see that they aren't half as toned as they look when they're on stage. Okay? Right? That takes time. When they're getting ready for a show, they're slowly, getting rid of any excess water, fat, anything like that. They're just slowly getting rid of that. But they walk around and they look bulky, but they don't look like, like Schwarzenegger all the time. Schwarzenegger will never look like Schwarzenegger all the time. Right? He couldn't keep that up all year round. He gradually lost muscle mass and size over the years because he wasn't competing. He was just being in Hollywood movies. And he would, bulk up for his movie to look good and then get back and then start to let himself go a little bit. And that's normal. But anyway, the body shaming started off here. Let me read some, okay? Lizzie Chili said, abs gone. I can't even pronounce the name, but anyway, y'all forgot to Photoshop some abs on him or what? Another one said, dad bod. He's gained weight. Oh my god. The abs are gone. That is why I toned down a third of my body size. I never stop doing Zumba because I know once I stop, I will go back to what it was. Okay, fine. Oh my god, what happened to his abs? Well, and then it goes on and on and on. I can't say some of the stuff that was said here because some of it is really rude. These were the polite stuff. Well, if this was a female celebrity or a female woman out there who was gaining weight, and we all said, well, she's getting fat, or if her breasts drooped a bit, and we said, oh my god, saggy much, or anything like that, those people would be considered monsters, right? Assholes, because how dare they shame her? How dare they body shame a woman? But it's okay to body shame men, right? What's not talked about in the fitness industry and in the world is men are being body shamed every day. There's through men's fitness magazines, movies, models. They're all, shaming men, right? But as a man, I can choose to go, I'm not going to let that shame me, and I walk away from it, and that's what I do. I don't make excuses. I don't sit there and cry and piss and moan that I don't look like that, because it's not going to help anything, and it's not going to change anything, right? But then there's just one form of hypocrisy that I have dealt with, or double standards. I would be dating some women at one point, and they would talk about how I should just know what's wrong with them, right? Like, if I did something wrong, one of the things that my first serious girlfriend said to me was, well, you know what you did. You should know what you did, and you should figure it out. And I thought that was true, that I should. It took me, I was a very young man. I was only 17. And then I started thinking, no, well, how should I know what I did if you don't tell me? I can't read your mind. I can't, for the life of me, think about what I've done wrong. And I don't feel it was wrong for me to ask what I may have done wrong. And then my next relationship, my next serious one, it was pretty much the same way, right? So I started thinking to myself, how do I get rid of this? Like, how do I stop this equation, right? How do I make sure that this doesn't happen, right? So before I got into a relationship with my wife, before we got serious, I said, let's set some ground rules for the both of us. And I said to her, I will never do anything to purposely piss you off. If I happen to piss you off, don't do this thing where you expect me to know what I did. Don't play that bullshit, because Filipinos will do this thing called tampo, where they'll ignore you and be quiet and not talk to you about that they're angry with you, and they kind of expect you to suck up and kiss their ass and try to coach it out of them. And I told her flat out that I will not do that, and I haven't. I don't do it. And I said to her, but I will listen to everything you have to say about what is bothering you, and then I will discuss with you why I did it or what I thought I was doing, and then I will also tell you that if it's something reasonable, I will not do it again. That was 10 years ago. And you know how some couples, you're out there, you will argue and yell at each other and scream at each other. Me and my wife have never done that. Hasn't happened. We will get mad at each other. Sometimes we'll be like, and you can tell that we're upset with each other. But it's over within, 5 or 6 minutes. We discuss it. It's done. Gone. My daughter Eleanor has seen that, and then she sees what goes on in her home, and she says, what you guys do is way better than what Mom and my stepdad do over there. Because her mother will hold a grudge for weeks. Days and days and weeks. And she doesn't let things go. And I knew that when I was with her, right? She just never let things go. So, Eleanor was like, I hope that I can do that when I start dating, because she wants to learn for what we're doing. She now knows the type of relationship that is not working, that is destructive and self-destructive. She sees that with her mother and her mother's boyfriend. That type of relationship is self-destructive. Okay? It is. Right? Is mine and Girlie's relationship perfect? Hell no, far from it. We still have our issues. We still have things we got to work through. And that's what a relationship is. It's 100% work. But she doesn't have that double standard with me. And that's one of those things that just knocks it takes away half the problems right there. Right? She doesn't expect me to read her mind. She doesn't get mad at me and say, oh, you know what you did. And she understands that I can't read her mind. And once in a while, if things flare up. Like I said, it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. But our relationship has been very smooth for the past 10 years. A couple bumps here and there, but all in all, quite smooth. Right? What I don't like is the people who post stuff online. Like, Jason Momoa having a dad bod. But if I was to comment on their body online and say, well, you've got a former pregnant mom bod and it's not very attractive, she would take that out and be super offended, call me down, her friends would put me down, the white knights on there, the guys that are always standing up for the women, would cuss me out, and it would just go on and on and on and on, right? And the same as if you go on a dating website, right? I've had friends point this out to me. They'll show me web pages of women that they'll say things like, you've got to be over 6 feet tall, you have to be fit, you have to be making 6 figures, you have to have no debts and no kids if you want to get with this. Okay. Wow, that's a list. Let me ask you something. What if I was to post on a web page? What if I was to say on my dating site, you have to know how to cook, you have to know how to clean, you have to have double D tits, you have to have a tight box that won't quit, and you have to I don't know. What else can I put out there? Have your own job and no kids. Well, what kind of response would I get with that, ladies? I honestly want to know. I'm willing to bet I would be called a pig. I'm willing to bet I would be called, an asshole, right? But if a woman says you have to be over 6 feet tall, you have to be in great shape, you can't have any kids from a previous relationship, you have to make, 6 figures, why is all that acceptable? Why is it an acceptable way for you to dish out what you want, but if a man dishes out what he wants, it's unacceptable? I'll tell you what. Do you know what the difference is? It's because one is you and the other one is the men. That's the only difference. That is the only fucking difference. So you are here saying this, 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 and this. Now again, women, I know it ain't all of you. Okay? I know that there are some beautiful women out there, not just on the outside, but on the inside, that they'll know that if a guy only makes 40 grand a year, but he never drinks, never does drugs, and never raises his voice or his hand to his woman, that they know that that's a great fucking find. And because they are good to their women, those women will treat them like the king they are. Right? I know you're out there. So please don't think that I don't know this. I am just pointing out that there is a double standard online and in this world today. Okay? Now, I don't even know if women started this double standard. Maybe Hollywood did it. Maybe the movie and modeling lifestyle has put this in our young women's brains that this is how it should be. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where this came from. Right? But women, the ones out there that are saying stuff like this, you need to take a good long look at what you're looking for. First of all, you need to know if you're worthy of that. All right? If you are 5 feet tall and you weigh 270 pounds and you want a 6 foot muscle-bound supermodel-y type guy from Sweden who can fuck all night and spend millions and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on you all the time and taking care of you, and you think you deserve that and you're 5 feet tall and 200 pounds? Psha! No way. Why would he want that? Right? But if you're like, we'll say 5 feet still. Say you're still 5 feet and you weigh like 95 pounds and you got a slamming body and you're putting just much work into yourself and you're earning your own money and you want a person that can keep up with you in that lifestyle, yeah, you deserve that. Go out there and fucking get it. Right? But examine yourself before you start examining your standards. Okay? Because you need to say to yourself, am I worthy of those standards? Right? Because what you're going to say is, well, I'm a good person. I'm good emotionally, I'm supportive, I'm loving. Well, so are those big, heavy fellas that are only making 40 grand a year. They're good people. They're good emotional support. And they're loving. And you've already wiped them off your playing field. Because you want the big dick guy making 6 figures a year that looks like a supermodel. Alright? Everything that you're saying about yourself, why you deserve, the Swedish beefcake, those same big guys are saying the same thing. Right? So you need to think about that. Right? But I want to know where these double standards, like I said, I want to know where they come from. Right? Now, I do know, I remember growing up to this. I do know that in the 80s and 90s, when I was paying attention to the world, that there was a double standard for men with women. Men could get fat, women couldn't. That used to be a big thing. And I remember even as a teenager thinking, why is that the case? Right? But now it seems to be going the other way around. Big fat girls can go out with these little tiny guys and fat fit guys, and they expect it. They expect it. Right? They think that's going to make a relationship. Like that 90-Day Fiancé, there was this big girl, and she's dating this Moroccan fella who's like super fit. He's a beautiful man. And she's at least 300 pounds. She's a big whale. And he's like, I want you to get in shape. And she's like, shouldn't you love me for me? Well, I wonder if she would love him for him if he weighed 400 pounds. Makes me wonder. Now, first of all, I know 90 Day Fiancé is fake. It's entertainment. I'm just pulling that, because that's a public relationship. Okay? It is just one of those things that I find the double standards just going crazy. Right? I do. Like, I'm a big man. I'm a very big guy. I'm working hard to lose weight, but I'm big. Right? And the women in my life, some of them have been very, very tiny. Like Eleanor's mother, she was, I think, $120 when we started dating. Of course, though, back then when she and I started dating, I was also 225 pounds of muscle. So, we kind of flocked together because we were both fit. We both were young. And that kind of jazz. Like, we liked working out together. Like, we went to the gym together often. That was our thing, right? But, and I will say this about my ex, as I started getting bigger, she never cared. Didn't care at all. Didn't bother her a bit. And it was the same thing for me. As she started getting heavier, I didn't care. Didn't give a shit. Right? That's the way it is. Same as now. When I met my wife, she was like 110 pounds. Right? Very tiny, tiny woman. And she started gaining weight. I don't care. The only thing I worry about is her health, because sometimes she starts breathing heavy when she's walking up steps. Right? And that's it. And she doesn't really care about my size. She's just worried about my health. That's it. That's all she's worried about. Yeah, but now like I said, this double standard shit is just ridiculous. You're not taking the time to get to know the person. Like, you made this list, right? Like I said, 6 figures, fit, over 6 feet. You realize that knocks out like 95% of the population? Right there? Right? What about the person's personality? What if he had all that and he's an asshole? Right? You're not looking at that. It's just ridiculous. Right? Men, don't worry about whether or not she's a supermodel. Right? Worry about if she's a good woman. Make sure she's good to you, you be good to her, and you guys will have a great time. Be compatibly emotionally. Be compatibly spiritually. Be compatibly physically and sexually. Know what each other want out of life before you get married, and you will have a happy and long life together. Okay? Or at least you'll have a chance at it. Right? Women, same thing. Right? View the over 6 feet, view the 6 figures, view the big dick, view the fitnessy thing as bonuses if you get it. But look at it, right? If he's a father, look at what kind of father he is. All right? If he isn't a father, see how he treats his mother and his sisters. If he treats them good, he's going to treat you good. Right? Right? Don't worry about what he's making for money. Right? Don't even worry if he's in debt a little bit. Right? People are always going to have debts. If you're going to have a debt in this relationship before you get into the relationship, he's going to have a little bit of debt. If you really love each other and you start living together, work together to get rid of both your debts and then move on. Okay? That's how it works. You want to build a good foundation with someone? Look at them as a person. And you will be a hell of a lot happier for it. You really will. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. I would love to hear your comments. If like this video, share it. Send me the standard death threats if you need to. You can reach me at shanehalfyard at hotmail.com, or you can leave a comment down below. If you want to take a chance in being in the monthly draw for a $25 gift card of your choice, all you have to do is subscribe, then leave a comment down below, or again, send an email to shanehalfyard at hotmail.com. And you can, make a show suggestion, ask a question, make a comment. If I read it on the air, you're in. It's that simple. But anyway, that's my time for now. I'll talk to you guys next week. And take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.